here with Sam Devlin, and we're talking. This Gardner, as you know from other videos, belongs to him. And
It's my baby.
This is your baby. How did you come across this engine?
I bought it. It was a running takeout of an old classic boat, and it had been installed in a boat that was originally built in 1912, and a manager at a boat yard had that boat, and he was about 6'5", and unfortunately this took too much headroom from him, so he bought a little John Deere engine and took this guy out and advertised it on Craigslist, and I bought it.
Oh, excellent. Well, our plans for the fall, we've had this for a couple of years. We've been running it, taking care of it, you know, warming it up. We're starting to polish, and because we've talked about you want to do something with this motor ultimately,
yeah,
we're going to dress it up this fall. This would be one of our projects here at Marine Tech. So like, you've got a new gear, because this one was slipping.
I do. Mm-hmm.
We're going to put that on and clean. But the cool thing is with Gardners is so the great thing about Gardner Diesels, there's a big following. These things are legendary to run forever. We're going to keep them going forever. So there's a lot of parts. So we connected with Joe McCool and said, hey, we've got this engine, but we need to do a few things in order to get it ready to reinstall in a boat.
Yeah, and it should be said, Joe's from Ireland.
Yes.
So we had to order these new parts from Ireland.
Yeah, they have to come a long ways, but that's all right. We still got them.
In COVID time, not the easiest thing in the world to do.
It took a little while. Customs, they were stuck in, I think, San Diego for a while, but we got it, which is the good news. And so some of the stuff that we got, which is super cool, is one of the things, and this is giant and heavy, but we're going back to the traditional jack shaft and this big 200 amp alternator, which will live right here. And we sourced some of the original brackets that we can paint up, and we're going to go with this system. The engine came with a 12-volt starter, so you're going to design a boat just simple 12 volts and stick with that. So having charging, and I really wanted that versus something junky and hanging off the front.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that was a big win.
We've got a lot of extra pulleys up here that we could do something junky off the front.
You could, hydraulics or whatever.
Yeah.
In fact, we did get a bracket. We had the bracket made because you're going to put a seawater pump up on the front. It won't look junky. It's a nice clean, keep it tucked back. But because the exhaust system, you're going to do like you did on one of your Tugzillas,
yeah,
right?
I'm going to do it's a wet exhaust, but it actually is dry. It's got a water separator.
It has one of these.
Yeah,
it's got a pipe,
one of those,
but it's a cold pipe.
But that won't be hot.
Yeah,
yeah,
cold pipe. So we'll dump the seawater in here from the pump, cool it off, water separate it, but still have a stack where we can listen to her purr.
Yeah, all the high-end boats are doing that these days. It means you don't have the blurb coming out the stern of the boat.
Well, you design beautiful boats, so I know it's going to just slip through the water quietly and not have all that.
That's right. No blurbing.
No blurbs. Excellent. And then along with that, one of the big wins was you inherited a couple boxes of random parts that I dug through. We found this original shaft because in the back we've been running this on a 12-volt pump for just circulating and a little heat exchange, so we could run it here at school, but that's not going to work in a boat. So the original shaft, this is where the water pump goes on, this goes into the block. We have this, and this is in great shape, but we didn't have the pump. We looked everywhere. We could not find a pump. And Joe said, no big deal. He said, we can source you a brand new, look at that. Or not brand new, refurbished, ready to go. And we needed one of the little pipes to put on it as well, so you might still have that.
Yeah.
And now apparently we're going to have to make all the other pipes as shiny as this one.
Oh, shinier.
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 So we got our work cut out for us on the polishing.
This thing's going to look like one of those hot rods, you know, by the time we're done. It's going to be all tooled up.
Are you making the engine room big enough so we can sit down there and sip our coffee?
I am.
You know?
Yeah. In fact, I think I'll put a little chair on each side.
I love it. New thermostat.
You know, set your scotch bottle up on top.
Exactly. Okay. Ready for it. And then I think lastly we've got paint codes. You have to decide what color.
Yeah. So Gardner's a lot of Gardners are traditionally gray, which looks pretty good. I've seen red Gardners, kind of a brick red color. This one was green, and I don't mind the green. But I've also seen some combos where they do a little gray and a little red, and that's the most beautiful in the long run because it sets off the, you know,
Nice
all
little accents
this
and
other
stuff.
jewelry that can get polished up. And, you know, if you get all these guys polished, sometimes they'll inset a color around this Gardner logo, and
probably
usually that's the red that they'll pick that off on, or black. I've seen it, and it's just, I mean, these engines can really be beautiful,
They can
particularly
be.
if you like engines.
I love engines.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what we do. So, all right. Well, looking forward to it. So you're going to design a boat around this?
I'm working on something. You know, my current shop is limited to about 40 to 44 feet. It's the maximum I can do. It's got to be a pretty big boat because this is a pretty big engine. In fact, I would be overgunned, really, even with a 44-foot boat. But that's what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking double-ended.
That's a theme.
Yeah, you know, I wrote a little article once about my proclivity towards double-enders, which kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize I was a double-ended guy, but I think I think the statistic was 72% of the boats I own are double-enders.
Well,
and that crept up on me.
That's a solid number.
Yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm leaning towards right now. Kind of an aft pilot house
Traditional
kind of thing, yeah. But probably will carry a little trunk cabin in front of the pilot house. I usually like to do a flush deck up there, but I think this engine's going to have to be mounted further forward in the boat. I can't really put it underneath the pilot house.
Kind of heavy.
Yeah.
And tall.
Yeah, so we'll keep our weights centered up and probably have the fuel right outboard of it. You know, it'll be fun. It's so far it's shaping up, but I won't promise you that it won't get changed a little bit.
Well, that's the part of the boat design process.
Yeah,
yes.
It's Pandora's box. We have a lot of shapes we can pull. And
How often does a boat designer like yourself start with an engine and work out?
Yeah.
Does that ever happen? I mean,
I don't know.
This has got to be a first.
I've always threatened that I should name the boat Flotsam because it's just going to be a whole bunch of stuff that we've scavenged from other projects, and you know, I have this dream that somehow I'll build my final boat and I won't buy anything. You
Just
know,
put it
just
all
be
in.
stuff from the shelves of the shop.
And then we'll go back to Alaska or something.
Yeah, but you know, one never knows. So,
well, we'll keep, so if any of you are interested in following the progress of, you can keep watching this channel for progress on the engine, but we'll put the links to Sam's website. You can get on there and follow along. He's got Instagram as well, so you can get on board and just see what's happening. He's down in Olympia, so he's nearby. We connect a few times a year, and every time he's in town, he's checking up on his baby.
yeah, that's right. I'm not seeing it run this year, by the way.
Well, it's time, you know. we got distracted. We were out of Radiant Star running that engine. So
Yeah.
we'll fire up.
I am going to talk to Andy Stewart about seeing if we can
keep this
permanently home this little copper day tank
I like
back
it.
there, which would really be a nice addition to the.
We're gonna keep the little pre-lube oil pump, but we're gonna hide it a little better, maybe.
Okay.
It's got a little hose on it, so we should be able to orient that and keep it off in Grand Central because we want this painted, polished. I can see it already, so it's gonna be great. All right. Well, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks.